Hello dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Some of you are already in the mood of celebrating Ganesh festival. Those who are celebrating, for them, happy Ganesh Chaturthi, right? In today's class, we are going ahead with exercise 5.2 of class 7th maths in that lines and angles, right? If we solve 7 in exercise 5.2, if we solve, then we do not have any problem with 5.1 because it is already included in that. Let us go ahead with these questions which are given, how to solve. Taking first question, what it is asked, state the property that is used in each of the following statements. It is said just what we have studied in the previous video under lines and angles, that based on that we will solve this, right? Now coming to first question, it is asked here, figure is given, right? In this figure, if A is parallel to B, right? If A is parallel to B, then angle 1 is equal to angle 5. What is the property used here? Look at the positions of the angle. On the transversal left side above the line. Here on the left side above the line. Means these are what corresponding angles are not. So the property used is what? Corresponding angle property. Because pair of lines it is given, A is parallel to B. If A is parallel to B, then transversal when it cuts, the angles formed, what pairs of each pair of corresponding angles, they will be equal in measure. This statement is mentioned in your textbook, right? Each pair of corresponding angles will be equal. That is why we can say that it is corresponding angle property, right? Corresponding angles property. Angles property you can say. When a transversal cuts. When a transversal cuts. Transversal cuts a pair of parallel lines. So cuts a pair of parallel lines, right? This is the property. Parallel lines. This is the condition. Next one is what? If angle 4 is equal to angle 6, then A is parallel to B. Angle 4 and 6, you look at the angles which are there. They are in opposite direction, right? If you take this as that here, these angles are what? Alternate interior angles, right? If 4 and 5, if these angles are equal in measure, then these lines are parallel. That it is saying the statement, right? Then A must be parallel to B because alternate interior angles are equal. So what to write for that? It is if a transversal cuts a pair of parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Okay, then each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. In short, if you write, this is alternate interior angles property. Finished, right? In short, it is just alternate interior angles property. Finished. This is main important here. This is corresponding angles property, right? This we are writing here in this. So what we can say, these will be equal when a transversal cuts a pair of lines which are parallel to each other, and this is again alternate interior angles. They are also equal when a transversal cuts a given pair of lines which are parallel. Here A is parallel to B. It is said already clearly in the question, right? Next, coming to third question. In that third sub question, if angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degree, then A is parallel to B. What is this? What does it say? This says that angle 4 and 5, what are they? Angle 4 and 5, they are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. And what are they? They are supplementary in nature or not? Means what? If you take the sum of angle 4 and angle 5, if you add these two angles, if these are parallel, when A is parallel to B, then if you add these interior angles on the same side of the transversal, their sum is equal to 180 degree. Means sum of these angles is a supplementary angle. Remember, right? Means 180 degree it becomes. So what we can say it is, angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. That is the property. Uh, if a transversal cuts a pair of parallel lines, then interior angles on the same side, means sum of, or interior angles, you can say sum of interior angles on the same side of a transversal are supplementary. This is the property, right? Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Means when you take the sum, it will be equal to 180 degree. Remember. So these are three properties which are used in this. Now let us go ahead with next problem which is given there. Okay, now let us go ahead with second problem. What it says, in the adjoining figure, identify the pairs of corresponding angles. Second question is the pairs of alternate interior angles and the pairs of interior angles on the same side of the transversal, right? Vertically opposite angles. These four we need to identify. It's so simple. Anybody can do so easily, right? But you must know the meaning of those angles, only that much, right? Now coming to first question, the pairs of corresponding angles. You know that if this is a pair of lines, here we are not saying that these are parallel to each other or they may not be parallel to each other, no problem. Just we are finding corresponding angles here, right? Do not concentrate on whether they are equal or not. No, they may be equal, they may not be equal, right? Whatever it may be there, just when a line intersects two lines, okay, they are not parallel lines. It may be parallel or they may not be parallel. When it intersects, what type of angles are formed, that we are naming, right? Here you can take even if you take these types of figure, then also it is right, because just we are naming the angles, only that much. So what is that? The pairs of corresponding angles in this figure is what? Here in these positions, if you take here 4 and 8, okay, 4 and 8, angle 4 and angle 8. Okay, here solution 1 I'll write for this, right? Angle 4 and 8. Next, here this you leave. This is corresponding angles, right? Next, coming to this you. So in that position, angle 1 and 5, right? Angle 1 and angle 5, right? These are also corresponding angles. Next, you take 3 and 7. Where are the positions? Angle 3 and angle 7. These are corresponding angles, right? So we can say here angle 3 and angle 7, right? Next pair is what? Angle 2 and 6. What is the position? You can observe here. This is the position. Okay. So 2 and 6. Angle 2 and angle 6. Angle 6. There are 4 pairs of corresponding angles. Remember, each pair of corresponding angles are equal only when the lines cut by the transversal are parallel. If they are not parallel, they may not be equal. Remember. Next, coming to second solution. So in second one, what they are asking, the pairs of alternate interior angles. First, you need to understand what are the pairs of alternate interior angles. When this is a pair of lines, right? Okay. When a transversal cuts this line, here in this position, what type of angles will come? They are called alternate interior angles, because they are inside the lines, so they are interior angles. Alternate means their direction is in opposite. See, if you take Z in this position, what we are getting, these are called what? alternate interior angles. Pairs of alternate interior angles if you get, here one pair you are getting, right? Next, in the same way, if you take another pair of lines, in this again you see, here also you can get like this, pair of alternate interior angles, right? So there are two pairs. In that case, if you see, here alternate angle 3 and 5, angle 3 and angle 5. This is one pair, right? Angle 3 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 8. Angle 2 and angle 8. If you consider this will be angle 2, this will be angle 8, right? If you consider this figure, in this if you compare, what we are getting, angle 3 and 5. Angle 3 and 5, remember. Angle 3 and angle 5. These are pairs of alternate interior angles. Only two pairs we get here. Alternate interior angles when it is said. Next, coming to third solution, what it is asked, the pairs of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Same side of the transversal means, here if you take, here say for example, this is pair of lines, it is cut by transversal. Now here you can consider two cases. One side, on the left side I am taking two angles on the same side of the transversal, they are within the lines, okay. Since they are within the lines, they are called interior, okay, interior angles. And since they are on the same side of the transversal, only to the left they are, that is why they are called what? Pairs of angles on the same side of the transversal, interior angles on the same side of the transversal we can say. So what we can see here, if you consider like this, angle 3 and angle 8, they become one pair. Angle 3 and angle 8, this is one pair. And if you take the next pair, here you can see, here one, here one. In that position, angle 2 and angle 5. Angle 2 and angle 5 are what? Angles, interior angles on the same side of the transversal. These are to the right, these are to the left, right? This is next solution. Coming to fourth one, what it is asked, vertically opposite angles they are asking. Vertically opposite angles means you need to understand first the meaning. If any two lines, if they cut each other, right, this point we call that corner as a vertex, remember, okay, where two or more this one sides when they join, lines when they join, that point we call it as what? Vertex, right? And here the angle formed at this and here in these positions, these are opposite to the vertex, okay, they are opposite to each other to the vertex, right? So what we say, these are vertically opposite angles. Since angle is more than 90 degree, less than 180 degree, we can say these as what? Vertically opposite obtuse angles, okay, these are obtuse angles. If they are less than 90 degree, we can call them as acute angles. Vertically opposite acute angles we can say, right? Now coming to here, you find out here in this vertically opposite angles, if you find out angle 1 and 3, right? Angle 1 and 3, look at this. In this one I'll show, right? This is opposite to this, right? Next, this one is opposite to this one, right? If you take first pair, if you take whichever will take, yes, 1 and 3 will take. What position is like this, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, this is one pair. Second pair is what? 4 and 2, angle 4 and 2 and 2, this is another pair. Next, if you take in this angle 5 and 7 or angle 8 and 6, if you want angle 8 and 6, you take first 8 and 6. Next, angle 5 and 7, 5 and 7. These are what? Vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles will always be equal when two lines cut each other. At the point of intersection, what type of angles are formed in that opposite to each other, if you consider, they are called vertically opposite angles, right? They will always be equal. So this is the property, right? Okay, now let us come to third problem. What is given in the question? In the adjoining figure, P is parallel to Q. It is said clearly. find the unknown angles. Means here angle E, F, A, B, C, D we need to find out. Remember. How to do this? We don't know here what is this angle. We will name this one so that it will help us to find out the other angles. So 125. How to name? Let the given angle in the figure figure B, G is equal to 125 degree, because E and F are given there. I am going ahead with next letter, that is J I have taken, right? Now what we can say, if it is named it as G, I am giving it as G. Now I will clearly say angle D is equal to angle G is equal to 125 degree, right? Or you can take angle G is equal to angle D is equal to 125 degree. Angle G is equal to angle D is equal to 125 degree, right? Means this angle. What is the reason? Reason is P is parallel to Q. This is first reason. In that, if P is parallel to Q, then what angle G and angle D are pair of corresponding angles, right? Pair of corresponding angles. You know that already we have studied in the previous video, right? Corresponding angles. What we have studied, if a pair of parallel lines is cut by a transversal, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal, right? We got D or not from this? So D is 125 degree we got, right? Now if you got D, we don't know F. We can easily find out F from the data what we already studied from that. How? Angle D and angle F, what are these? They are the angles on the same side of the transversal or not? P and Q are, they are what? Parallel. Then sum of these angles is supplementary or not? So what we can say here, angle D plus angle F is equal to 180 we can write, because what is that? Angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. This is the reason for that. You need to mention like this, otherwise marks will be cut if these are not given reasons, right? Now easily we can find out F now, because F is nothing but angle F equal to 180. You transpose it to the other side, angle minus angle D do. So angle F is equal to 180 degree. Angle D we have found out, that is what? 125 degree, right? If you subtract, what do we get? Angle F is equal to 180 minus 125. How much? 55 degree you will get, right? It is 55 degree if you subtract. So angle F is 55 degree we got. Now very easily we can go ahead again. What angle E? No, angle F we found it, right? Angle F is equal to angle E is equal to 55 degree, right? These are equal. Why? The reason is vertically opposite angles. Okay, vertically opposite angles they are. Opposite angles. This is the reason. Since they are vertically opposite angles, they are equal in measure. F we found out, E we found out, D we found out, right? Now coming to again, angle D is equal to angle B we can give, right? Angle D is equal to angle B is equal to, D is what? 125. What is that? Angle D, angle D is 125 and angle B is also 125. What is the reason? This is also same reason, because these are vertically opposite angles, right? Vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles we can say, right? Next, after this we found out these. Okay, now we have F we have here, right? F is equal to we have got already And angle A we can find out easily now. Angle F is equal to angle A is equal to angle F. How much we got? 55 degree. This is equal to 55 degree. What is the reason? The reason is these are alternate interior angles. You can see. Okay, this is in this direction, it is in this direction, right? They are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Interior angles. Angles. And you should also say P is parallel to Q, right? And P is parallel to Q. This is also important because when they are parallel to each other, then only these alternate interior angles will be equal. Otherwise, they will not be equal, right? So you should mention this also. So we got what angle A we got, right? Angle A is equal to how much we got? 55 degree. Now angle A is equal to angle C, you can show this is also 55 degree. What is the reason? The reason is again vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles, right? This is the reason. Vertically opposite angles. So we got now what we got here. Angle E is equal to 55 degree, right? Angle F is equal to 55 degree, right? Angle F is equal to 55 degree we got. Next, angle A. Angle A is what? It is also equal to 55 degree. 55 degree. Next, angle C is equal to 55 degree, right? Next, angle C over angle D. Angle D is equal to 125 degree, right? We have got all the angles here. E, F, A, B, B we did not write. What is angle B? Angle B is also equal to 125 degree. Angle B is equal to 125 degree. So we have got angle A, B, C, D. All the angles we have got E, F. Right? This is how we can solve. Okay. See you in the next video.